Welcome back to Northwest Small Batch Brewing. I am Steven and I am super excited. It's that time of the year. It is time for an Octoberfest beer, but I've got something special in mind. Come along. All right, so do you see this whiskey behind me here? Westward, Westward, Westward. I'm a big fan of Westward single malt whiskey, and guess what I'm gonna do? I got some oak chips from them. I'm going to oak this Octoberfest and make it an Octoberfest. Let's go see the grain. I've got 2.35 pounds of Pilsner, 2.4 pounds of Vienna, 1.04 pounds of Munich, 0.35 pounds of German CaraHell, and 0.35 pounds of German CaraRed, and a couple handfuls of rice hulls. Mash in at 155 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour. Drain the main grain, squeeze the bag, Bob's your uncle. Bring everything up to a boil, and your first 60-minute addition is 13 grams of Hallertau. The second addition is at 30 minutes. We're looking at 10 grams of Spalter Select hops. It's 10 minutes till, so put in your Whirlfloc tablet, your yeast nutrient, and any junk in the trunk. The final addition is at flame out, 5.73 grams of Hallertau hops, the same one you used in your first edition. Cool your wort down however you see fit. For me, I'm going to wrap the lid up tight and leave it overnight for a no-chill. As you can see, my wort temperature after the overnight chill is still at 83, almost 84 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to move it, move it. I'm gonna move it, move it.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it.
Into my keg that I'm using as a fermenter, and I'm going to put the keg in my temperature-controlled freezer to cool it down to pitching temperature before pitching my yeast. We've reached pitching temperature! Now shake the bejesus out of it.
Keep shaking, dillhole. It's gotta be really, really shook up.
For 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, I am pitching Fermentis Saft Lager German lager yeast S23, and I'm going to let it sit at 55 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 to 8 days for its primary fermentation. Hey everybody, quick update. This is super embarrassing. So I went to take a video to show you of, adding the oak to the beer, and I ended up, instead of hitting the record button on my video on my phone, I just took a picture like this. That's all I got, a picture. So let me describe it to you, shall I?
What's happening out there?
Shall I describe it to you? Or would you like me to find you a box?
So basically, I let the beer go through its primary fermentation, took about a week, maybe a little less than a week. And then I ramped the temperature up to 68 degrees, and it sat at 68 degrees here for a little bit. That's the diacetyl rest. You raise it up so it can reabsorb all the diacetyl. So it's been sitting at that point. I'm ready to start cold crashing. So I released the pressure because I have it under about, I'm fermenting at about 12 psi pressure. And opened up the keg. I poured in the oak, which has been sitting in just a small amount of whiskey because I couldn't find any vodka in the house, but just to sterilize it, and also because the whiskey pulls out more of the oak. Just enough to cover the wood, very little bit. And I just poured that in and sealed it back up. And my plan is just to leave the oak in there. I don't think it's actually going to end up being over oaked. You know, it's only going to be in there for like a month and a half before the beer is all drank up. So I think it'll be fine just to leave it there. Anyway, I'll be back when I'm ready to bottle and keg this sucker. Well, welcome to the final, the tasting of this Octoberfest beer. So, looking at the end results in my notes here, ended at 5.4%, which is good. I was aiming for 5.2. It hit 5.4. So, yeah, it's pretty spot on. Yeah, let's see. Looks pretty good. I don't know that it's that super clear, but I didn't put any gelatin or anything in it. I didn't show you the kegging or whatever because I literally just took it out of the fermentation freezer and put it into the kegerator, so it wasn't really anything to see. Interesting. I almost feel like I could smell some diacetyl. Not diacetyl. Well, now I can't think of the word. I don't know. But it's an off flavor. Acetaldehyde is what I'm thinking of. And maybe not. Now that I'm acclimatizing to it, I can smell the oak. It's like sort of a spiciness, like cinnamon, baking spices sort of scent to it, but very light. And it didn't darken the beer at all, so that's pretty cool. Let's go in. Carbonation's pretty good. It's got a tanginess. Yeah. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that I like the oak in it. I don't think there's acetaldehyde. I think that's the oak doing it. It's got this aftertaste that's I don't know, not eggy, but honestly, I think I would have preferred it without the oak. I mean, it's a fun thing to do and try. Sounded like it would be fun, but I think the oak is just too much for a light beer. I think it's better to leave oak, for the dark beers. I mean, it's definitely drinkable, and it does seem to improve the more I drink it. It gets a little bit better. Some of those flavors I don't like are sort of, I'm becoming acclimatized to. It's not bad, but it's not, I'm not jumping out of my seat for it either. So, hey, they all can't be winners, but you know what? It tastes fine. There's nothing like inherently wrong with it. I just think that it's not super balanced, and so it's totally drinkable. Tastes fine. It just, the marriage of the oak with a lager for me doesn't work that well. But at any rate, interesting experiment. Glad you stopped by. I'll be back again in a week for another video, so make sure you did subscribe so that you can get notified when that comes out. And until then, Prost and happy brewing.
Whirlfloc. Whirlfloc. Whirlfloc, hit.